What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here. Spurs have beaten Brighton 2-1 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium to cling on to their chances of making top four this season, considering victories from Man United and Newcastle threatened to pull them away. But a late Harry Kane goal has given Tottenham all 3 points today, but that doesn't half tell the story of the game. Brighton having a penalty, very clear penalty shout not given, having a goal probably that should have been disallowed through VAR, and a host of chances as well, which they didn't make the most of. Spurs, for me, fully got away with one. I'm here with Marlon to go through, to give a quick instant reaction of the game. Look, first half, you have to say Brighton were probably the better team. And
agreed.
We took the lead through a unbelievable goal from the blue from Heung-min Son. You have to say what a finish that was from him. But then all of a sudden, for the whole rest of the second half, it was backs against the wall, and it was no surprise when Brighton equalised.
No, and I think a lot of us expected that. The way Brighton play, the way we play, we were going to probably be very, not defensive is not the right word, but we are going to try and soak up that pressure. And we did it quite well in the first half. It wasn't, apart from the great save from Lloris, I didn't feel like Brighton were creating anything, and a lot of the time they were passing it when they should have been shooting. But yeah, we got to a point where when we scored, we kind of said, okay, come at us, Brighton, see what you can do. But and then we just seemed to die off for the last 20 minutes of the game, and I was like, why are we doing that for? Because they were making mistakes of giving it us back, but we were doing exactly the same thing. So to go in 1-1 at half time, I think Stellini probably was the happier manager out of the two. Mitoma's goal, I still don't get why it was given for handball, but I won't, another VAR is completely saved us there.
Dyer, I mean, not only does VAR save us, Dyer makes a big mistake, gives the ball away on the edge of his area. They punish us with that Matoma with a brilliant run in behind and controls it. I think looks like the upper chest and controls it and scores. Yeah. Referee blows up for handball. VAR goes to it and looks at it. It looks at it for a good 2 or 3 minutes. And for me, for me the current laws of the game, considering that this upper sleeve is not handball. To me, it looked like it wasn't handball, and we completely got away with one. I think Brighton were very, very right to be aggrieved for that goal being disallowed, because because it wasn't, for me, it wasn't handball.
It wasn't handball.
We got absolutely lucky.
Yeah.
They did equalise, though, didn't they? Dunk with a corner,
which we were warned about, literally 10 minutes before, where they'd done exactly the same thing, but they didn't get a run on it, and then dunk, and then they do it again.
And that was also from that corner. They had another handball that could have been a penalty to them, which was a bit lucky because Longley has his hand out. It does kind of hit his hand more than he hits it, but on another day, a less forgiving official could have easily given that.
Agreed.
Easily give that a handball. Then, there's a handball there. Then they equalised from a corner, which, as you say, it's the very same routine they got the handball from. They scored from. They then hit the post. Lloris makes an unbelievable save.
To be fair to him,
he makes a save from McAllister from outside the box. Like, it's literally they're throwing everything at us.
Yeah. And I think that's where I go back to.
We needed half time badly.
Yeah, we needed half time, but I'd go back to the beginning of the season where we were doing this quite a lot. We weren't, we were soaking up the pressure, and a lot of teams looked like they were battering us, but actually we were coping with it quite well. But we got to a point where actually we did need half time. But then once half time came,
I think half time came, and I think second half. Was definitely a much needed break. And I'm not to say that we were on top in the second half. The second half kind of went into a bit of a lull period throughout the game. Brighton weren't doing much. We weren't doing much. However, referees again, you have to say, corner comes in for Brighton. Matoma controls it on his chest. He then very, very clearly gets stamped on by Højbjerg. Very clearly. Referee doesn't give it. And for some reason, VAR takes a look at it, takes apparently a very quick check, and doesn't give the penalty. Unbelievable officiating.
As we both said, it was a penalty at the time. I'm still trying. I can't work out why they haven't given it, but the only explanation that I can give is that actually when he's gone to make the tackle, he hasn't caught him. It's when he's then put his foot down. But has he gone to stamp on him? or has he not? But only Højbjerg would know.
For me, he puts a challenge in. He doesn't get anywhere near the ball, and when his foot goes down, it goes down on Mitoma's foot, and I think it's a clear stamp. It's a penalty.
I don't get why VAR haven't given it, because on that, who's going to complain? Like, especially with the Mitoma incident in the first half.
The rule with VAR is when it comes to clear and obvious, they cannot intervene if the referee can accurately describe what happened in the incident, basically. So if the referee sees the stamp and he says, I don't think it was enough for a penalty, they can't intervene. But if he sees the stamp, how could he not give a penalty? And if he hasn't seen the stamp, how could VAR not get involved?
No,
I don't get it. We got lucky with that completely.
Completely lucky.
Then again, the lull period kind of carries on. We don't really do much. They don't do much. Danjuma comes on.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, momentum swings in our favour a tiny bit. He brings a bit more pace so we can press a bit more on the front.
And then we catch him on the break. Exactly what we were trying to do in the first half, but it just wasn't, with Kulu out there, he's not pacey. Son, it just wasn't dropping into him in the right areas. But then as soon as Danjuma comes on, we get a bit of pace. It goes through on the right-hand side. Son, I think Son picks it up, plays it down to Højbjerg. Højbjerg then, to be fair to him, you have to give him credit and go, what? To pick out Kane, and Kane, once you see Kane line up for it, I think even Brighton fans must have been looking and gone, well, this is a goal.
Yeah.
But
from Brighton point of view, how is Kane so free inside the box? It was clever movement from Kane, but how is he so free?
But this is the Brighton's problem. Their three midfielders are so attacking, but actually in a situation like then we were catching them out like that in the first half as well, but we just didn't have the pace, and Kane was up top. But in the second half, it seemed that Kane dropped deep and then allowed Son, and then Danjuma's on the other side anyway, so they kind of just got caught out. But yeah, brilliant finish.
And we didn't mention the two managers got sent off midway through the second half. And
the call that VAR actually got right with Welbeck as well.
That's right. Yeah. Welbeck has a shot deflected off McAllister. It goes right under Lloris's body. It looks like a howler, but McAllister, luckily for us, it brushes off his arm as opposed to his thigh or his hip. And luckily for us, that goal gets ruled out for handball, probably rightly so in that instance. The tensions boil over on the sidelines, and there's a massive altercation. There's a massive altercation between the Brighton bench and the Spurs bench. They both get, Stellini and De Zerbi both get sent off, not for stuff they've done, but apparently they both get sent off for failing to control their bench, which is a bit of an odd thing if you think about it, because why would you, if they can't control their own staff, you're then taking away their ability to control them by sending them off. So it's a bit weird, but they both got sent off, which was a big flashpoint of the half. I don't know specifically what it was, but they're both going at it, both benches, and Stellini and De Zerbi both got sent off. And then obviously, we got the winner, brilliant winner from Harry Kane. But let's be honest as well, last 5 minutes we were under serious pressure. Could have very easily conceded in those last 5 minutes. We did stay strong as opposed to against Everton, Southampton when we crumbled. We stood firm, we didn't concede, we were aggressive, but don't get it twisted. We got lucky today. Lucky today.
I think VAR gods have played a massive part into how this game's gone today. And if I was a Brighton fan, I would be absolutely fuming. This is one of them games, if they miss out on anything, this will be the game they will look back on and go, Premier League refereeing officials have cost them today. Yes, they might have got one right, but they have got two drastically wrong. And depending on where Spurs finish, if it's 3 points for us as well, we just have to look at this game and go, thank you, VAR.
100%. But when it comes to trying to put in a convincing performance to tell me that we're up for this top four challenge, I don't think that was it.
No.
Obviously, beating a good Brighton team isn't to be sniffed at. Even if you do have a bit of luck at it, you still have to have the quality that we showed. With Son's goal was exceptional. What a finish that was from outside the box. And then Kane's finish as well. We did put two bits of play together, so we know we have the quality, but I think, again, today was case in point. This defence is way too flimsy. It's way too brittle. Whenever it gets got at, it, more often than not, we'll make a mistake. We'll give away a penalty. We'll make an individual error. And today, we did those things. We just got away with it. And that was the difference. Got away with it.
And I think when you look at how the season's gone, you do have to start going, was Conte right to be playing the way we did because he couldn't trust them? And when you look at something like today, I wouldn't say we went defensive. And you just look at what Brighton did to us. I look at games against Arsenal as well, where we tried to be more open, and our defence let us down again. And I think you do have to sometimes protect that back three. And if we went to a back four, again, you're going to have to still protect them somehow. So, it's something that needs to be addressed massively. But right now, there's 8 games left of the season. And we've got United, Liverpool, and Newcastle coming up as well.
The next few games are really, really going to be make or break for this top four race, because next week we have Bournemouth at home, well as Newcastle go away to Aston Villa, who are in great form. Man United go away to Forest, so they'll probably expect to win there. But then the following 2 games, we then play Newcastle away and then Man United at home. So if we beat Bournemouth, we go into those 2 games where it's really make or break for the top 4, I think. And it's going to be very interesting over the next 2 games. I do think, based on today's performance, I think obviously we can beat Bournemouth, but I don't think I can confidently say we're going to go St James's and win, or beat Man United at home based on today's performance.
I think Bournemouth winning today has kind of played into our hands a little bit, because they won't be under as much pressure because they're not. They're quite far from the relegation. If they lose to us, it's not going to put them straight back in it, I don't think. So it kind of, Bournemouth will probably play with a bit more freedom and won't play very defensive, which might play into our hands a little bit again. So we need 3 points next week. We can't. I don't know where we're going to go. Those next 3 games after that, I'm not worried, but I'm not expecting anything. So we need to put the points on the board now, just in case, because we don't want Villa. Look, Villa are creeping up on us as well, which is, considering they changed their manager quite early in the season, they're looking good.
Be interesting to see what they're, because that's not going to be an easy place for Newcastle to go. But look, to be fair for Newcastle, last 3 games, beaten Man United 2-0, beaten West Ham away 5-1, which, as much as West Ham are not a great team, they're not. You to score 5 goals away from home is
it's
good.
Not to be laughed at.
Yeah, and they've beaten now a very good Brentford team 2-1 away from home. So I wonder if do they have Brighton still to play Newcastle? Let me see Newcastle's fixtures. But they've got their fixtures. They do have Brighton still to play. It hasn't been arranged yet at St James's.
So that's one of the games.
They do still have Chelsea. They do still have Arsenal as well.
Yeah.
Chelsea away, Arsenal at home. So they do have some tough games, but it's on Spurs to kind of up their game and improve. And as much as today, obviously we didn't embarrass ourselves with the level of performance. I don't think we were awful.
No.
But we were definitely second best. We definitely didn't deserve to win. We definitely did deserve, in my opinion, to lose. And it wasn't a convincing performance where I'm saying, all right, this is going to be a turning point. We've proved everyone wrong from the last 2 weeks, all these kind of things.
No, agreed.
The worries are still there. The same problems are still there. The difference today is we had those moments of quality when it mattered. We got the luck when it mattered. And I think that's pretty much the only way we were going to get results today.
And that's why I said that before the game, we had to play the Conte way. Because we will create chances, and it will be down to quality that gets us goals. And that's why I thought, if we play like that against Brighton, exactly what happened today is exactly what I was expecting. If Brighton would have come away to 3-1, I'd have been like, okay, I didn't expect them to finish their chances, and that's probably what I was looking at. But they didn't, and we kind of got away. We definitely got away with one, the game went exactly how in my head, apart from the 1-0 I predicted, exactly how I'd expect it. So I'm not surprised.
All right, well, that is the Tottenham Watch Along. Thank you, Marlon, for joining me. If you go on the chat, pinned the link is if you want to subscribe to Marlon's channel. So big up to Marlon for joining us on the Watch Along today and seeing Tottenham get all 3 points. We move on now to the post-match fan show, where it's your chance to have your say on everything that happened with Tottenham today and the performance, and whether we'll get top 4 or not. So we'll see you all very, very shortly. But thank you for joining us on today's Watch Along. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you